Hello, so for this video I filmed what I eat in a day, and yeah, so I just wanted to share these recipes that I really like. They're more like warm recipes, you know, since it's, well, now it's winter, it was fall when I ate these meals, but yeah, and most of them, the lunch and the dinner are vegan, and the breakfast could easily be vegan too if you just don't include the egg, but yeah, so I'll just start. So for my breakfast, well, I guess it kind of just all revolved around this sourdough baguette, which I've been getting from the grocery store, and it's been really good. Because usually for breakfast I do like to eat like a variation of this meal, but like the sourdough just really made it extra special. The sourdough baguette, yeah, so essentially it's just avocado toast, but you know, I used the baguette as my toast, and I just spread my avocado and put salt and pepper on that, and I really love to put tomatoes on that and just salt and pepper those as well. And then because I did want it to be more filling, I sauteed some mushrooms, and usually those I just put paprika on them, and then I added the egg, and that egg I did over easy, and that I also just put paprika, salt and pepper, and that was all with a bit of greens. So I don't remember if it was just spinach and kale or if I got like a mixed greens, but I usually like to add greens like that in my breakfast. And then my morning drink is this like cacao maca powder latte that I've been making myself this year. So it's just cacao powder, maca powder. Sometimes I add turmeric and cinnamon. And then lately I've been using this Wooden Spoon Herbs Rose Tonic. It's rose colored glasses. It's like for mood, and it has different herbs like holy basil, and it has a really good flavor, and I really like florally rose things, so I really like to add that. And I just use my little handheld frother that makes the consistency really good. And I use almond milk. I used to use oat milk, but I switched back to almond milk, and I've been really enjoying it again. So that's just like a really cozy drink that I've been having, and that breakfast was like super good. Okay, and then for the lunch, I didn't get any recordings of me actually making the lunch, but it's just some leftovers I had of lentil soup. And lentils are something that I've always really liked, and they're really good for colder weather, and they're filling. And lately I've been adding cabbage, red cabbage, so like when I make the lentils and I saute them before I add any broth or water, I saute the cabbage with it and any of the veg, and then it gets kind of caramelized, and then it'll like cook down and get soft and tender when you add the water and bring it to a boil and simmer it. So yeah, that's really good and really easy one pot meal to make, and it makes great leftovers, and you can like add stuff to it, but this day I just had this soup. Yeah, and then I served myself some of that baguette still to eat with the soup, and it was really good. Okay, and then for dinner, so this dinner I also really love, and it's good for leftovers too, and it's really filling. So it's just spaghetti basically, and it's a mix of spaghetti squash and actual spaghetti, because I know people like to like substitute the spaghetti squash, but you know, it's not the same if you're actually craving the pasta, but it is a good way to fill it up, and not have as much pasta, and also just to add some vegetables in there, because the squash is really good. But yeah, so anyway, I just roast the spaghetti squash at like 450 until I see that it's kind of like browned, with some olive oil and salt and pepper, and then I let it cool, pull it apart. And then, you know, separately and I'll make this with different vegetables just depending on what I have at the time, but I still had mushrooms, and I always like to add mushrooms to any spaghetti I make, so I cut up mushrooms and sauteed those. Yeah, so I just saute the mushrooms in oil, and then if I have like, I've used like Beyond Beef with it, and it's really good, and it makes it just more filling. But yeah, just put that with like the spices and herbs. and then, you know, boil your pasta, add in your pasta, and I just used canned sauce because it's easy and I like the taste. And then you can add in the spaghetti squash and mix it all up, add some of the pasta water so it gets nice and thick. And yeah, it's really easy and simple. And then I probably had that with baguette or some kind of toast as well. And then I also really like to top it off with nutritional yeast. And then this day I tried like adding parsley, which is usually good, like because if I don't often have parsley, but I had parsley from something else, but the parsley was like already gone bad. So unfortunately for this exact plating, I ended up picking out the parsley because it didn't taste good. But overall, this is really one of my favorite meals, and it's really filling and good. And like I said, you could just add whatever vegetables that you have that day. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. And I probably would have like a snack at the end of the night, something sweet, because I tend to enjoy that, but I don't think I recorded anything. But I will leave the recipes for everything in the description, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you.